Well, this wasn't here earlier, so looks like somebody left me a little gift. Don't need that. Um, Hey, so if you didn't happen to recognize that label, that is my new spindle that's being sold by Redline CNC and partnering with Onefinity. So for those of you who have seen my channel and my other videos, you would say, don't you already have a spindle? Yes, but my spindle has encountered what some people may call a catastrophic failure. So right before the holidays, this connection cable snapped clean off and just caused a whole lot of mess. So I was pretty much without a working CNC for a while. I tried to replace this and it worked, but something went wrong inside the spindle. And at that point, I was pretty much tired of trying to fix it and dealing with it. So I had two options: buy a whole new DIY kit and put it all back together, or hopefully wait for something else and just buy a complete set from a vendor that has a warranty and I can call for support. And it just so happens that my Christmas wish was answered when Onefinity came out of the gate swinging with a partnership with Redline CNC for a spindle. So immediately I was in queue to go ahead and get one, but one of Santa's helpers knew about my plight and decided to help me out for the holidays. And so I'm very much appreciative to the Onefinity team for partnering up with me to make this happen. So enough about me and this. Let's get into the spindle. Now, your box may be packaged a little differently than mine, since mine was like a early release testing model. But overall, you should have pretty much the exact same thing. So I have three boxes in here. The first box contains a bunch of the cables that you're going to be using. I'll go over those a little bit later. The second well-padded box is the spindle itself, and the third box is our VFD. And for a closer look at the star of the show, this is the Redline 80mm 1.5 kilowatt air-cooled spindle. Other items in the box should be the digital readout, or the DRO as it's called, your assortment of cables. This one's the PWM cable, followed by the spindle to VFD connection cable. This is the connection cable for the digital readout, and of course, standard power cable. So before we can play with our new toys, we got to get rid of the old and busted ones. So I put those stop blocks under there because the spindles themselves are a little weighty and it's useful to have a little extra hand for positioning. So just kind of making sure the water's draining out of there. Then I set in my new Redline spindle, and once again, it kind of just sets down on those stop blocks. It's also helpful for positioning because you want to try to find a good position to give yourself the most range with your bits. So I kind of position mine where the collet stops right around the base, and that usually gives me pretty good depth, but you got wiggle room. Now let's start getting things connected. You're going to grab your VFD cable. I believe this is called an aviation connection. And what you're going to do is match up the notches to the spindle, and it'll just kind of slide into place once they all match up. Then you kind of screw everything together. Now the nice part about this cable, it comes pre-wired, grounded, so it's safe, secure. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff with the kind of DIY kit, and it's long. You want to know how long? It's unwind and travel all the way to the back of my shop to sit on my laser long, or 15 feet or so in Imperial. Hi. Now, because the cable is so long, you're going to want to make sure you secure it properly. So if you're fancy type, you can like 3D print some clips, or you can use what's available to you and snap open the drag chain. The cable is thin enough to fit inside the drag chain alongside your other cables, so you're secure. It follows along with the machine, and all you have to do is make sure to leave enough slack at the top of the cable for your Z travel, or you could end up with a catastrophic failure. Now I'm going to remove the old PMW cable from underneath the Masso. Just remember where that is because you'll need that area later. And now I have to go mess up my beautiful cable management. I know you're like, oh my god, it's so good. I'll show you how to do that in another video. This is my old VFD and it's gonna go somewhere else now. So before we start connecting cables, you can decide where you want to put your VFD and how you want to mount it. It comes built into the aluminum with keyholes, so you can mount it to the wall. On the bottom, it has a desktop option, and if you have a QCW, there's an option for that as well. But for now, it's just going to sit right there for the purpose of the video. So if you made it this far, let's start connecting some cables. I'm going to start with the Spindle to VFD cable. And like I said, that aviation connection has notches that match the back of the VFD. So you just plug those in and make sure everything's nice and secure. Then we're going to grab our PWM cable and connect that. It has a hole pattern, so you just kind of match up the notch and the hole pattern for it to connect on the back, and then secure that down. And you're going to do the same on the underside of the Masso controller on that port that I disconnected earlier. Now, if you happen to have the BuildBotics controller, I believe that port right above the one I connected to is the port you'd need. And that power cable, I'm not going to plug it into an outlet yet, but, you know, just make sure it's in there. Next, we're going to turn this all around. And we're going to connect our DRO. So this is where you would see your RPMs, you would control and program in all your VFD settings. So, bundle of cables, and one end you'll have something that looks like a network cable on both ends, but one is angled, the other is straight. So you're going to take the angled version, and it just fits. There's a little channel in there. Actually, we're going to plug the bottom part in first. There, and then this just goes into the back of that, and it fits right into that groove. Now this cable is about 10 feet long, so you have the option to mount it directly to your VFD, or you can mount it somewhere else like I did. So just take the other end, snap it into there. Oh, it's upside down. Into the other end. Okay. And now you're pretty much wired up. Oh, pretty much wired up to your spindle. Now, while I was ruining my perfect cable management, I noticed these two holes matched up exactly with the way the DRO needed to mount. And it came with the screws I needed, so I tested it out, and it works. Just like that. Looks like it was made to be there the whole time. Now let's go ahead and power everything up. And before you ask, I don't currently know what the flashing 171 is. I'm not sure if this looks different in your setup, but I know what the digital display means later. But anyway, on to using your Masso controller. So just a quick little step. If you're in the F3 menu, you can hit continuous and up your feed rate, and that'll travel it back and forth. Then if you go into the F2 menu, we're going to test the spindle connection.
hit the MIDI control down in the bottom and type in S1000. The S command sets the speed for the spindle. And then you're going to hit run and then press M3. M3 is the command to get the spindle to start. And that's how loud it is at 1000 RPMs. Now just hit stop spindle. We're going to up the speed a little bit to 10,000, which is what I was trying to do the first time. Now you can watch the dro speed up to 10,000. And that's as loud as the spindle is at 10,000 RPMs. I mean, it's going to scream when you put a bit in there, but that's how CNCs work.
There's a list of codes that tell you if for some reason you're not hitting the right RPMs, things aren't doing what you need to do. You can always check the programming in your machine by going to the box. You're going to hit mode. You're going to hit, these are your P0 codes. And so we're going to go to P003 because I know that's the one for on off. So P003, enter. It is set to 1. And that is the default value for on and off. So if you want to change that, you hit down. Now it's 0. You have to hit enter. I don't want to do that. I'm going to leave it at 1. I'm just going to get mode. And now it takes me back to my main screen. Hit mode again. And now I'm back at my general display screen.
Now there's a very good chance you're programmed right outside of the box, so you don't even need to mess with any of those P0 codes, but there is a list in the instruction manual just in case something weird happens or for troubleshooting purposes. But I would say if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. Anything after that is really just, using whatever program you're going to use to create your code and get to carving. I can make more videos on that since there's going to be a lot of first-time Spindle owners out there due to the awesome deal Onefinity was running during Black Friday. So if there's anything in particular, any videos in particular you want to see that involve the Spindle, let me know. I'm going to be doing a lot of Spindle projects over the next few months, and I can always work those in and video it and, just have that discussion. So as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, drop them below, and follow along for more CNC stuff and other stuff. I do a lot of stuff. Anyway, thanks. Bye.